There we go. Hello everybody, welcome to TOT&HAM, the weekly show where James and I talk about the Tottenham Spurs and the London Hammers each and every week, Tuesday or whenever we put this show out. How are the Spurs?
The Spurs are right.
The Tottenham Spurs.
Your first couple of words started very positive, and then I could feel your voice going, shit, we're actually recording.
Sorry, man. I bleeped that out. I think there's a button on this recorder where we can say every time we swear, and I'll just keep hitting it to bleep it out.
Okay.
I don't know where it actually is on the
We'll get a bleep
audio
machine.
recorder. Yeah, we do need one. End of the game week now, so the Monday Night Football is over. My rank rose, but I had a real levelling off yesterday. So I was up to the top 9. I was 970k. I'm now 1.1 million. All these auto subs coming in and Vardy transfers and stuff. You were 300k down. Did it get much worse?
Oh, yeah, about 690 or something now.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible.
It's all right. Well, you can blame Aubameyang, can't you?
Yeah, for the goal and the assist yesterday actually ended up coming good for any owners of Aubameyang. There's not that many, but there's enough.
17% of live teams means he's in 1 in 5, basically, doesn't it?
True.
So I don't think he's in too many of the teams ranked very high at the moment, but you're going to get a lot of people around about our ranks between sort of 200k and 2 mil who are going to still be sitting on him.
Yeah. He's still a stone cold killer as Aubameyang.
And I think even for a lot of
gets.
people would have looked at it and gone, they've obviously had a run of fixtures where he looked like it wasn't in my fault, but for others would have gone, yeah, on paper. And then I think a lot of people got into the position with Aubameyang where you would have been like, I can't sell him this week. I can't sell him this week.
Yeah.
Now, probably coming into Man City at home, and I think for FPL probably is the time to now move on. But then you see the flip of it and you think, actually, the way they lined up last night, if he's going to play through the middle, although he was incredibly quiet until the final half hour, then you think, okay, maybe there is an asset in there because he doesn't need to be heavily involved anyway. For him, it's all about being in the right place.
Indeed. We're talking about West Ham and Arsenal already. Should we just start with that game today then?
When I saw the team...
Our team, both teams.
The Arsenal team, I thought you'd get beat. I know I said when... that if Antonio played, I fancied you.
Yeah.
But actually, when I saw the Arsenal team, which originally had obviously Tierney and Bellerin in it, no David Luiz, a 4-2-3-1, which with only one of Aubameyang or Lacazette suits them structurally much better. It's the best formation probably for Ozil, unless they're going to play a diamond and give him free roam. But then I think he needs people in wide positions and people in front of him that he can feed. Not that he particularly did. But I did think, you know what, Aubameyang through the middle. I know as soon as the team come out, Adam at 3-5, who tweeted, he went, keep an eye on Martinelli tonight. He's a really good player. And I did think, yeah, they might do, yeah. And then they put the form table up, 4 points each from the previous 8. You think, maybe this has got draw written all over it.
The first few minutes, I think both teams would take a 0-0 and leave here happy because of the fear of another defeat. That was the worst Arsenal side we've played against that I can remember. It was so... They're so rubbish. They're toothless. That yesterday was a masterclass in self-capitulation. The first 55 minutes, let's call it 55 to 60 minutes, it was easy. It felt easy. They were just side to side to side to side, and then when they tried to do anything creatively, we'd just step in and take the ball or take it off them, or they'd misplace a pass. They were rubbish. 32 minutes I counted until they had a touch in our box, let alone a shot on target. There was no shots on target in the first half other than Aubameyang having a pop from outside the box and Ozil's header. There was nothing from Arsenal. They didn't have any urgency, energy. I really felt up to 60 minutes that was the worst Arsenal side we've ever come across. And we managed the game reasonably well. We defended deep. We let them have the ball for long periods, but then as and when we needed to, just nicked it back and tried to hit them on the counter. Now, we're not very good on the counter. We didn't play particularly well on the counter yesterday, but we did get the goal, did go 1-0 up. And I thought, you know what? We're in a good position here at half-time where we can control it. We just need to always be careful. And I would have tweeted at 55, 60 minutes, this is the worst Arsenal team that we've come across in a long time. And I didn't. And I knew I shouldn't. Because Aubameyang is a stone cold killer at any moment, right? He's still, as quiet as he was, needs 3 seconds and it's in the back of the net. And Rice worked hard, Noble worked hard. I think, was it his 500th game or something yesterday? Fucking hell. It's still an achievement to play 500 games for one club. And he played well. He was getting about the pitch and putting tackles in. And then Creswell came off injured. Masuaku came on. And 5-6 minutes in, I had to say to my mate who was with me, I was like, why is Rice playing at left back all of a sudden? Because Masuaku kept getting caught out so often that Declan Rice was stuck at left back 3 or 4 times, 3 times, 4 is maybe an exaggeration. He was playing left back against Pepe, whereas Masuaku had been caught a little bit further up. And I was like, this is fucked our defensive shape here completely. And that's eventually ultimately what told. I think Masuaku really was at fault for this. Well, the first goal, he's got to know that Pepe's going to go. Hey, we all knew on the stand, and I'm on that side of the stand. We all knew Pepe's going on his left. Yeah. We all knew it. Yeah, he just let him go on his left. And the second kind of chip in that Pepe put in for Aubameyang's goal, he's got to close him down quicker. And I don't know what Bonner's doing there. For the first goal, Fredericks gets done on the outside, fine. I mean, he's quick, so he shouldn't be getting done on the outside. And then Martinelli, Rice just lets him ghost into the box. So he's free in between Rice and Balbuena. Free man there, halfway in between the 6-yard line and the edge of the box. He's going to put it in the back of the net. And it's a case of like, when it falls, it falls. And it's happened in a lot of games this season where we're fairly comfortable, keeping it tight, even the first 15, 20 minutes against you guys, and then bang, we're down. And then it's a deck of cards. And it's happened far too often where we're in control is probably a bit of an exaggeration, but in the game and given as good as we're getting and trying to get about the game. And then bang, as soon as we're 1-0 down, it's a deck of cards and it collapses. We had nothing after that. We had no way of getting back into the game. I mean, 3 goals in 9 minutes is going to kill you at the best of times. The way they went in was just, oh well. Do you know what I mean? So that's that. Everybody's phoning into TalkSport and all the rest of it, talking about Pellegrini's got to go.
Why do you punish yourself? Listen to that garbage.
Well, driving home from the game, it is what it is.
That's been driven home for Christmas.
I was fascinated to see what the fans' point of view is on who the next manager should be more than anything else, because I don't think there's any doubt that Pellegrini's now had it. We're so slow. We're so slow. We need to move the ball quicker. That 1-2 seconds, like I can see the pass that needs to be made. Players are open. They're just taking that extra touch before they're spreading it from one side to the other, which the top sides don't do. We're so slow. And we don't close down quick enough. You like to use the phrase with Eriksen, shadow boxing. So many of our players just kind of shuffling around. Rather than closing down, they're shuffling around. And you're like, look, you've got 2 yards. You've got to close down quicker. Be brave and close him down. And you might get done, but at least you're closing down the space. And we didn't. And in the end, we ended up getting hurt in a game that we were completely in control of, managing, and bang. That's why 1-0 was never going to be enough. So there you go. That was that. And in the end, just petered out. Antonio couldn't have any impact on the game.
I don't think it was fit.
Who, Antonio? Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, you could be right on that. I mean, he did have a few runs. He tried to make things happen, but he wasn't
struggling at the end really badly. Before I give my thoughts on the game, you mentioned there were a lot of criticism. I'm going to ask you a really awkward question. What are you good at?
Who?
West Ham.
What are we good at?
Because you just listed a lot of things there that don't happen. Yeah. So, all right, on a positive, there's a fixture against Southampton this weekend, which is very winnable. What are you good at?
I don't have an answer to it. I don't know.
Jesus,
I don't know. Because it used to be counter-attacking football, like playing with pace. But the problem is that we're not playing with pace right now. Anderson checks his runs. He's slow in the decision-making in the final third. He's scared to shoot for some reason. He has opportunities to have a pop from outside the box. He's done, in my opinion. I've been a big supporter of Felipe, but from what I've seen yesterday, he's done, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not giving him that much more time. He needs to deliver or be dropped. Fornals, he's still struggling to get into the game. And at that point, you've got 2 passengers. You can't afford to have 2 passengers in a team of 11.
This is the sort of guy. The second
got booed off, yeah. Again.
I didn't notice that.
Big boos. Not even a little bit. Big boos.
Wow.
Yeah. When he came off,
the sort
it was
of guy,
big
as soon
boos.
as you change your manager, he's going to be a brilliant FPL asset, isn't he?
100%. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the players in the sense of talent. I honestly think now, get a different manager and it'll completely change.
I'm afraid I'm going to pick the bones out of that. So I'm watching the game, and 10 minutes into the the first half is as bad a half of football as I've watched this season.
I don't think it was that bad. I know people said it was boring, but I think we let them have the ball and they just went sideways to side.
Awful, and it was a little bit more on Arsenal than it was on you. I think, look, the onus is on them with the superior players, etc., to go and have a go at you, and they did absolutely nothing for the first hour of that football match. I think
you can say it's boring.
First 3 shots on
boring
target,
to watch. I can agree with you that it was dull, but from a game management point of view, I thought it was perfectly fine.
No quality. Listen, it's fine for you going in at half-time 1-0 up.
We let them have the ball for long periods of the game and just managed it.
For the first 10 minutes of the second half, you're thinking, is there going to be a reaction from Arsenal? And for the first 10 minutes of the second half, it was your best spell of the game.
Mm. But then we were picking them off a little bit on the counter.
A lot of it was coming from bad passing from Xhaka and stuff.
A lot of loose passes.
Stuff that was where you got into good positions was more because of Arsenal's poor play rather than particularly good play from yourselves. But at that point, I'm watching the game, I think, this is ending 1-0. Can't see Arsenal doing anything.
I'd agree with you. All the way up to 55, 60 minutes.
How big was the substitution? Because if I looked at it and I didn't watch the game, I'd go, Cresswell off at 57 or what it was. 15 minutes later, the game's finished.
I'm telling you, that's what I said. That was pivotal. Because we fucked our shape up because Rice had to play left back. He was the one that was...
Rice didn't play left back, did he? You're saying he had to cover the position.
He was getting sucked into left back.
But the first goal came from the other side.
The first goal did, agreed, but the second two didn't. The first goal was Rice's fault, in my opinion. He should have tracked Martinelli, and he didn't. He let him go.
Well, I think pressure on the ball. Torreira plays a good pass into a wide area.
He does, but
the only strength Kolasinac has got is getting into those positions and delivering.
Rice can't let the runner go. I don't know why he let him go, because Balbuena had his eyes on the guy on the wing, and he doesn't know that Martinelli's coming in behind. So Rice has got to track the runner. No one else is going to close the runner down. Otherwise, is it all right to just let the guy stay free in the box?
You've said a few times, not so much this season, but in the past, perhaps in the summer, about Rice doing a job for, say, a Man City or something in terms of a longer-term replacement for, say, Fernandinho into that role.
Not in current form.
Not on ability, mate.
Not in current form. I think he's more than capable of. On the ball, he's not good enough, but defensively, he's good. He gets about, he makes tackles, his positioning is good. I don't have a problem with Declan Rice. I do think his passing distribution can be better, but I don't think he would get in on current form. But then he's still a young kid, right? He's 20, 21. So I'm not holding any blame at Rice.
Teams that he could get in.
Defeat.
Teams that he could get in at the moment of teams that are above you in the league. Arsenal.
Yep.
Tottenham.
Yep.
Not many others.
He wouldn't get in ahead of Fabinho or Wijnaldum, but he wouldn't get in of Fernandinho. But then there's not many players that would. It's a bit unfair. It's like saying you wouldn't get into the Barcelona team. Well, fucking Messi's there. Do you know what I mean?
No,
he's still like international standard, and he's still very young, and he's still developing his game. I think
it's also a position that England are desperately short in.
You can't lay any blame at Declan Rice right now. None of the blame goes to Declan Rice right now.
I'm not particularly singling him out. He's struggling at the moment, and every other week, one of our correspondents says to us when they play you, he's shit.
Yeah, I disagree.
So I get there's a labelling and a hype that comes with players under scrutiny once they play for the national team. He's not playing well at the moment.
He's not playing badly either. He's the only one. When you're 1 out of 11, you're fucked, mate.
Well, yeah, no. I didn't want this to become a Declan Rice conversation because there are other far more inferior players in your team. No blame on the goalkeeper last night, but he's, Roberto is Martin light, if you want to put it that way, right? He's average. He's doing a job for you, right?
He did what he needed to. He's not got a chance on any of the goals. 2 players left not one-on-one, but in the penalty area open with a chance to put it in the back of the net and put it back of the net. Pepe's goal, I don't know how close it was to the post because none of the angles I've seen tell me how close it was. I didn't think it was.
I'm not putting any particular blame. I think he could have done a bit better with Aubameyang's goal. Defensively, we use the word crap it a lot. Like Ryan Fredericks is the definition of that, mate. He was so bad last night. It's park football, mate. That's his ability on what I saw last night.
Nah, that's an exaggeration. I don't think he's that bad, but obviously he got done for the first goal.
Everything, mate. He actually wasn't kicking a football properly last night. He's got nothing else other than speed.
He can whip a decent ball in.
It's like Cole Walker if he was handcuffed, basically.
Maybe. I don't know. You can drill down into it. Either way, we need the new manager and we need one fast.
Okay, so what's the solution?
Sean Dyche. I'd like Diego Simeone, but we're not going to get him, are we? Because we can't afford him. So if I could wave a wand, I'd want a Diego Simeone. If we can't have Diego Simeone, I'll take Sean Dyche. If we can't have Sean Dyche, I'll take either David Moyes or Big Sam.
Do you think...
so Benitez is the favourite from the fans' point of view. I don't want Benitez.
Benitez was on MNF last night. He's not coming back to England anytime soon. Well, he's not this season.
No, I don't believe anything anyone says.
No.
Money talks, shit walks.
Look at the money he's getting in China, right? So he ain't coming back for money.
Still.
It's interesting because when you mention some of the people you've been all right with, like David Moyes, you're talking about Sean Dyche. We're not going to get this so-called West Ham way as such with Sean Dyche, I don't believe. Do you think, I know you would be okay with that. I think it would be a decent appointment for you as well. But do you think the majority of West Ham fans would be happy with that?
No.
That's an issue. And do you know who that's an issue for? The owners.
Maybe. I mean, my problem is their club.
Trying to please the masses. It's what they've always tried to do. We've got 30 million to spend on a striker. Yep, everybody knows that now. Thanks for the information. Yeah, it's all about pleasing, I think. Pellegrini was like, look, we can get a name.
I don't know. Well, people want Benitez because he'll sort us out defensively is the phrase that people use.
You want to see West Ham play like Newcastle played the last couple of years?
I don't think it's comparable. It's different personnel. So I don't think you can say because he played that way with Newcastle. His Liverpool side weren't the same as his Newcastle side, for example.
That's fair.
So the personnel are different. I think I'm not sure what Pellegrini's doing at the moment. I don't know how they're being coached or what they're being asked to do. But the things I see, I feel like I could step in and coach them differently. Like tell them what to do differently. So it's a problem, but I think we're at this point now where no one's disagreeing about whether or not we need a new manager or not. No one's disagreeing. Like for all intents and purposes, all the reports about the game yesterday were the same, whether I heard on TalkSport or a summary from Freddie Ljungberg or whoever. Everybody's 55, 60 minutes, Arsenal were doing not very much. West Ham better side in the first half, 1-0 up, and then bang, 9 minutes, killed the game, sliced like hot knife through butter, bish bash bosh, done, and West Ham had no way of coming back and no energy or spirit. By the same token, I think Arsenal have similar problems. At half-time, 1-0 down, I'm looking and thinking, who in that side is going to get the game by the scruff of the neck and make something happen? And there was no one I was scared of. No one. I think like Arsenal cannot, in much the same way that you came and won, you can't take any particular happiness out of that victory. You can. You won a game first time in fucking however long, but be wary because City could fucking smash these guys 5-0 comfortably. Honestly.
Not the way City are playing at the moment. But
even the way City
capable,
are playing right now. So I'm not taking anything. I think it's unfortunate for them that they lost Bellerin and Tierney now to injury. Fullbacks fucked again. I mean, it's difficult, I understand.
It's important for Arsenal that they won from their position in the league. You know, it puts them only 1 point behind Tottenham, for example.
You need.
But I think there was a position, I think it even would have been going through Arsenal supporters' heads last night going, lose this, City at the weekend, a possibly revitalised Everton away after that. and I think, is it Chelsea? Chelsea's not long after that as well. And you start thinking, hang on a minute, you're going to finish bottom half here. I don't think that's the case because we've got too much attacking quality. Like Pepe, see that with the second goal last night. A comparison player would be like Mahrez, right? Coming from that position, he's so left-footed, and the pair of the players have both got ability, skill, and pace, right? With Mahrez, if you put him on his right, he can still do you.
Yeah.
Pepe is not going to do you.
No, he's one-footed, very one-footed.
Literally, just shove him that way.
End products yesterday was bad, especially in the first half from him. Like, his crossing was particularly bad. But you know what?
Well, they looked, as soon as they went in front, they were a different team. It was like the confidence come out of them, and they strolled through the rest of the game. There was one player I just wanted to mention who I thought was excellent for Arsenal last night, was Socrates. I thought he was very good defensively. I think he won everything that came in. But I also think that's an indictment of where Arsenal are. They were better with Socrates and Chambers last night without the other one having to worry, is David Luiz going to push up and try and play offside when he's got no reason to be doing that kind of thing. Antonio would have loved playing against Luiz, loved it. I think Socrates handled him really well.
Yeah, true. Highlight of the game yesterday, probably I think it was like 84 minutes, right? Substitution for Arsenal, and I don't know if you can hear the stadium announcer on the TV.
They announced David Luiz
coming on number 23, David Luiz, and then a minute later is actually coming on for Arsenal 29, Guendouzi, and I'm 100% sure he did it on purpose. 100% sure,
really,
without a doubt, 100% sure he did it on purpose.
Just had a bad day.
No, he was just on a wind up that they look like each other.
Really,
100%.
Is that racist?
Put money on it.
Are we going down that route?
It's his hair, isn't it?
Hairism.
Can you be hairist? I'd be interested if you're watching, listening, and you were at the game or you heard it. I think that the stadium announcer 100% did it on purpose, but I'd be interested if you think so, because it was the comedy value of it.
Did it get a laugh?
Oh yeah. Everyone was pissing.
Was it the highlight of the game?
I was saying it's the highlight of the game. That or Pellegrini's trainers, I'm not sure. We've been talking for 22 minutes about West Ham. Let's talk about Tottenham 5-0. I asked you a question yesterday. Could Poch have done the same thing that Mourinho did on Saturday?
No.
It's time so now you're seeing a change in progression from Poch's final stint.
After the Bournemouth game that, look, the idea of won me over, no, because again, we played another very average team at the weekend who were missing a couple of key players in Ashley Barnes, Ashley Westwood. Goodmanson's been out for a while. Not right at the moment, Burnley. It was a good time to play them. And look, of course, you can only beat who you play, and this was far more impressive than the 3-2 wins against West Ham and Bournemouth and the 4-2 against Olympiacos. Where he's got me a little bit is I can see that he's trying something. He's gone in and he's literally identified basically within 48 hours and gone, that's how we're going to play.
Well, he's not changed the team hardly, has he? He's pretty much the same team all the time.
In all 5 games, if you include the Man United game.
There's only one or two changes in personnel as well. Most recently, it's all the same team week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kane, Ali, Son, the general, the 2 centre halves, right? But obviously Vertonghen only came back against Bournemouth because he'd come back from injury. I think that back four is quite stable now. And I'd said after the Bournemouth game, I think you can expect to see more of Vertonghen at left back, and I think that's probably locked for quite a while now. Mourinho won't rotate. Certainly his left full back, he's not going to expend the energy that he would have done under Pochettino. So rotation's far less likely in that position. Aurier, as I mentioned yesterday, no update. We won't get an update on Spurs fitness-wise till probably about 5-6 o'clock tonight when Mourinho does his presser in Munich. He's made subtle changes, isn't he? Like Ali's positioning and that. But for me, we've had one big game in the 5 and we didn't turn up. Now, I think the one thing, if I isolate the 5 games, I go, what was different in that United game? Well, obviously, clearly, one is the opposition is of a far quality standard with an exceptional performer on that night in Marcus Rashford. The denominator, what I talked so much about on last Thursday's PlanetFPL, was Winks and Sissoko. It just doesn't work. No matter what people think about Eric Dyer, the balance in there at the moment is so much better. Winks and Sissoko, for whatever reason as a partnership, just doesn't work. And nearly all Spurs fans will tell you that.
Was it Winks? It was Sissoko and Winks on...
Dyer.
Oh, it was Dyer. So you think Winks is the issue or Sissoko's the issue, or the two together? So Dyer and Sissoko is okay. Winks and Dyer is okay. Winks and Sissoko is not. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah.
That's weird. I don't understand why.
Just Winks and Sissoko, it just doesn't work.
They don't like each other.
Maybe. Possible. I don't know. Because I can't really put... Because actually as a pairing, they should work in the sense that Sissoko is very box-to-box. He covers that right flank so well. He did in the Pochettino area. He'll cover Aurea really well now. And he's adding this burst of pace, the kind of stuff we used to see at Newcastle, in breaking into the box. I think Dyer allows that a little bit more. I think Winks defensively is really poor. And I think that's the issue. Because of the central midfielders, Winks, Dyer, Sissoko, if you want to throw sort of Oliver Skip in there, the best technically by a distance is Harry Winks. He's the poorest defensively in that role. And I think that's going to cause him a problem. There was a fear, I think after we played Jude, that there was a fear in the Tottenham community that he would start to get marginalised. I think it's becoming a possibility. But I think Mourinho gave him chances. Like against you, it was noticeable that like suddenly he was on the odd corner, which he'd never been taken before.
Yeah.
But I think if Aurea's fit enough to continue, I think we'll see a little bit more of this Sissoko-Dyer thing. And do you know what? It's what Mourinho likes, isn't it? It's physicality, tall players.
Yeah, he's always been into a strong physical side. I don't doubt that.
And it allows, when we talk about that front four and one more joining in, which had obviously predominantly been Aurea from his positioning in the earlier games, Dyer allows Sissoko to be that fifth one joining in, which I don't think he's comfortable enough to allow Winks to be. Winks will just get bypassed, unfortunately. He's a really good player, works hard. There's nothing in that. Just he doesn't have a defensively switched on positionally, I think. That's what it is. It's not even concentration, it's just positional awareness, which Dyer has. So we might see more of that. I think it's something to watch out for. I can't see any different to that, certainly at Wolves at the...
If it does do that, then someone that wants a bench filler at 4.9 million in Sissoko, if Dyer's playing consistently and lets him break forward, he's never going to set the world alight, but you're not paying £7-8 million in FPL for him. It's a £4.9 million asset, is old Sissoko.
Not an FPL asset.
What, 4.9 bench filler?
No.
You'd take...
Go cheaper, didn't you?
Campbell, 4.7.
But if you just want someone to fill your bench, we go 0.5 cheaper, mate. I mean, Dale Stevens is suspended this week, but you go to that. Him, Dendoncker, yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what you're looking to do, why are you going to spend that 0.5 and cut yourself off somewhere?
Some people are doing all right on their squad value, got extra money lying around. There's so many good value options. If you have value lying around...
Are people buying Sissoko?
I have no idea, but people are asking about him, for sure.
Who's asking about him?
He's been mentioned on the old Twitter machine. Plenty.
Stop it, please. How is he in 2% of teams?
I'm telling you, Sissoko's will get interest. He scored a couple of goals in the last couple of games, hit the post. He'll get interest. It's always when a player scores some points in quick succession, he's always going to get interest.
John Joe Shelvey.
John Joe Shelvey might be getting interest.
3 9s in a row or something?
I have no idea because I'm not looking at him, but it wouldn't surprise me if even he's going to start getting interest. He's been hitting, his goals have been well taken, John Joe Shelvey.
He's 5 million. I'd prefer that over Sissoko if you're going to go down that route. I don't think he's not an option either.
Yeah, I would take Shelvey at 5 over Sissoko at 4.9 only because of the lack of less rotation.
Why are we wasting audio time talking about guys like
I know,
this?
we're talking about Sissoko. Something we've talked about Dele Alli and Son and Harry Kane. Your advice is not to buy them. So there's definitely a question that I avoided on the main pod yesterday.
My opinion is it's Wolves away and Chelsea at home. Now, Chelsea at home's a little different.
Grudge match or like Mourinho's old team
it's Chelsea,
coming back.
No, it's just Chelsea defensively. But I think Chelsea, when they come to Spurs, will play Kovacic, Kante and Jorginho.
Changes their game.
And leave out Mount or Pulisic.
Probably, yeah.
And play a different
system.
If
it was me, I would. So,
and if Chelsea play those three against Sissoko and Dyer, first thing that's going to happen is Dele Alli's going to have to drop in. He will have to drop in or we will get absolutely dominated centrally. And then is Dele Alli a viable option for that fixture, for example. Tactical tweaks, right? We should change things. This week against Wolves, Connor Cody, we spoke about it yesterday. He's going to go 10 yards deeper. You're probably not going to break in behind them. So I just don't think it's the week to be attacking Spurs. Like I said, I think those with De Bruyne, I can really see the Sun temptation.
Yeah.
And there's definitely... The Boxing Day fixture against Brighton is not as good as it appears on paper because I think they're a very good side. It's those away games that really tempts me on Kane. Norwich away, Southampton away, then following Liverpool at home, it's Watford away. I like Kane in those fixtures. But we'll come back to that. Someone's still got their wild card in hand.
Yeah, you do indeed.
Keep an eye on the Aurier injury news. Is the biggest thing on Spurs at the moment because it really could impact how we go about playing. I presume, I'm flying to Munich myself in the morning, I presume he's going to take half a team. I hope he takes half a team. Sunday's more important.
Yeah.
I'm going for the crack.
You're going for the
if you
German
said to me
crack.
now, you're going to go to Munich and get stuffed, but you're going to go to Wolverhampton and win on Sunday, I'll take that right now.
Premier League. This is an old article. I don't know where to find the odds on sacking, but can we finish the show now so I can go and put a tenner on Pellegrini to be the next manager fired? I need to win some money back for all the money I have to waste.
Can you see anything happening now, as in pre-Southampton this weekend? Or do you look at it and go, actually, get through the Southampton game and then you don't play for 2 weeks?
I'd get through the Southampton game. Honestly, I'm fine with that. I feel like, like Everton 2 weeks ago, the decision was made, or everyone knew it was done. Silva was done. I feel like we're there now with West Ham. Everyone knows he's gone. I actually feel more confident about our relegation chances now because I know he's going and I know whoever's going to come in is actually going to be able to get better performances out of this same squad. I'm not panic stations about shit. Even if we get a new manager, we haven't got the players and all the rest of it. I think we're capable. We're more than capable. We just need a decent manager to come in now and get us organised. So I'm actually strangely less worried about relegation than I would have been historically because I know now he's gone. Pellegrini's done. So, yeah, if I have to ride out the Southampton game to wait for next week, and you're right that we got a nice 2 week gap to get another manager in and settled, then so be it.
What's your Boxing Day fixture?
Boxing Day is Bournemouth away. No, Bournemouth. Bournemouth at home is New Year's Day.
Leicester the 28th.
Leicester's the 28th. I can't remember. We're away on Boxing Day. Not at home. I know that. Let me tell you.
You're hard work, aren't you? So what's after Southampton?
Gap.
Yeah, and then what?
And then we have, where are we? Away at Palace, which is Boxing Day. That's a 3 o'clocker. So we won't score there because they keep clean sheets for fun.
FPL managers with all the Martin Kelly ownership, hoping Pellegrini's still in charge.
Yeah, I don't think he will be by then. No,
I think he was done on the Tottenham game. I think the Chelsea win bought him time because the players went out and put the effort in on the day. It's just no long-term vision on it, mate. There never was from his appointment.
I don't know. I think he's set the team up very similarly to in pretty much every game. I think he knows how he wants to play. I just think it's crap.
Well, I've seen him move from this 4-4-1
it's either 4-2-3-1
to a 4-4-1-1.
Yesterday was a 4-2-3-1. Noble played quite deep, especially in the first half. It was like two holding midfielders in Noble and Rice. Ricey on the left, Noble on the right. There's no point even talking about it. We just got to figure out who we're going to get now, and I think it's going to be... I'm glad Benitez has ruled himself out. I actually think if you ask me to put money on it right now, who's going to come in and manage us till at least the end of the season, it's going to be, as a caller on TalkSport said yesterday, David Moyes is going to be coming in. It's like, Moyes was great last time round. He got us through. We'll get Moyes back. I was like, yeah, Moyes? So David Moyes, if you're listening.
Might as well go for Chris Moyes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind. If it's David Moyes, it's David Moyes. But whoever it is, someone needs to come in. And if it's after the Southampton game, so be it.
Anyway, on Thursday, clash of the correspondents.
Yes.
We will have an alternative West Ham opinion, won't we, Suj?
Nah, because I reckon Chris will agree with me. I've seen his tweets.
Chris doesn't bounce emotionally like you do, I don't think. So
I think he's
interesting to see
not
what
happy.
he has
I
to
saw him
say.
the other week, and I saw Big Geezer Ron Weasley yesterday. I saw Tony Cottee yesterday in the pub before the game.
Tony Cottee, yeah.
Shuffling his way out. I was like, all right, Ledge. He just didn't want to talk to anyone. A few people were like, all right, but I think he had to get to the ground to do whatever work he had to do for whatever station. So, when you head down, you're like, okay, mate, you don't want I'm not even asking you for a photograph because you look like you're in a fucking rush, mate. So there you go.
Thursday's Clash of the Correspondents will be on Southampton, West Ham. We will be talking more West Ham, but as we talk West Ham so much, we probably will take a bit of a deeper dive into the prospect of buying Danny Ings. See what Ali's got to say for himself on that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Do stay tuned. Sky Fantasy Football tomorrow. I think I had a 8k rise in the end, 21,000. Now I've halved my rank in a few weeks.
Because of Vardy and Aubameyang, my Sky week actually finished up all right. I'm back to the highest rank of the season, I think.
Oh, wow.
Vardy and Aubameyang equated for about 85% of my points.
And we have final plan on Friday once James makes his way back, touch wood, fingers crossed, safely from München. So do stay tuned for all of that stuff. Ciao for now.
Cue music, man, child.
The Fantasy Football Show.